doing at the Fish Hatchery?
Well, that's a good question. And this is called Warm Springs Fish Hatchery, and we're at the base of Lake Sonoma, right behind us. And I run the Coho recovery program. So, Coho salmon in this area, in California, the populations have been declining really fast over the last few decades. There used to be thousands and thousands of Coho salmon in the Russian River. And 10 years ago, that number was down to less than 10 fish. So that's a big difference, right? So that was a big wake-up call for everybody in this area, all the resource agencies. So my agency, the Army Corps of Engineers, state agencies like the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, county agencies like the Sonoma County Water Agency, nonprofit groups, we all came together and we said, we better do something or we're going to lose these fish forever. They're going to go extinct. You know what that means?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
They're gone forever. So in 2001, we took some of the last remaining wild Russian River coho and we brought them into the hatchery where we can increase survival. And you help me out around here. What can we provide these fish? We can provide them with what? Lots of cold water, food, right? And then we can keep them nice and safe, right? So there's not a lot of predators getting them. So our goal is to reestablish natural populations of coho salmon. So we raise the fish to adulthood in those big circular tanks, we spawn them, and then we take all the babies that we produced, all those fish that you helped me clean and feed, we put them back out into the watershed with the goal of them returning and spawning on their own. And then they can jumpstart a natural population of coho. Does that make sense?
Yep.
All right. Anything else?
Why is it important?
That's a great question, Elijah. It's important. I mean, coho and salmon are just part of our livelihoods. They've been here for generations and generations, and all the Native Americans used to live off of them and use them as food and as a very important resource for their lives. And it's just part of our culture, and it's part of California. So I think it's really important to protect those sort of things, right? So the numbers got so low, and there were so few fish out there that they couldn't do it on their own. They needed help. So we decided that we would come in and help them, and that's what I'm doing here.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to help me?
Yeah, I already have. Yeah. Pretty much so.
You can continue to help too as you get older though, right? And part of that is educating kids like you. Because you can teach, you're going to share this with your class, right?
Yeah.
So then you can teach your friends, and then they can talk to their parents, and then they can talk to their friends, and then soon everybody will know that we have a problem with our declining salmon populations, and everybody can do a little bit to help, whether it's just conserving water, or whether it's protecting your streams and your creeks. All those little things add up, and they really help.
Isn't it kind of really a big problem right now because we're in a drought?
It's a very big problem. That's a great question. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that we can do to help in terms of like creating new habitat for these fish, but then there's a lot of things that are out of our control, like the weather. I mean, I can't control the weather, can you? No, so that's a tough one. So when we're in situations like this, we really depend on people to conserve water and to make sure that there's a good balance of water for people and water for fish and then water for agriculture. And the important thing is to try to find that balance for everything. You have any other questions you want to ask?
Yeah. How do you feel about this?
Well, I feel very passionate about it. I feel that, you know, humans as a whole have done a lot. A lot of human impacts have led to the decline of salmon. So I feel like it's really important that we have to go back in and fix those problems because they won't get fixed on their own. But the important thing is there's a reason that the salmon disappeared in the first place. So we can't just put a bunch of salmon out there and expect that to change. We have to find the root of the problem, and that's water, and that's habitat, and that's preventing overfishing, like too many people taking fish out, and You know, making sure that we're not cutting down all the trees and taking away all the canopy to keep the water nice and cold, and not building poorly constructed roads that leads to like sediment and erosion going into the creeks, and building barriers, because if a fish wants to return to its home, to its stream, sometimes people put up dams, they build stuff across creeks, and then that makes it hard for the fish to get home. So we got to make sure that we're really conscious about what we're doing out there to make sure that the fish are happy and safe. Does that make sense? Yeah, so it'd be nice if you shared this with your class, and then you can teach them all about this. Does that sound like a plan?
Yep.
All right, buddy. Well, thanks for your help today.
Welcome.
And you're always welcome up here anytime, okay?
Okay.
Sound good? Think we got it all?